Hi guys, it's Nikki, Creative Nikki's Homemade Crafts. Today I would like to teach you how to make these Rosebud Crochet Stitch Patterns. They're all the same, of course, they're just aligned in a different way and with a few colors. So, of course, you can pick any colors you want. This is going to be a birthday present for my mom, so I have it in a certain width, but I'm going to show you a swatch for the minimum amount that you need, which would be this one. You're going to have a certain repeat and then you add a certain amount of stitches to finish the set however you like it. I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. And then we have certain rows. Everything is basic stitches. They're just added up, and it is of course 3D, as you can tell. So and I have two different colors. I have a red and a violet, and then this light green as well as a white. I am using the Premier Yarns Deborah Novel Everyday Collection in white, in really red, and paper fell off so I had to stuck it in here, bright violet, and this one is kiwi. So some of these colors I did not get from the Joann's or Michael's or something, or even Premier's website. I actually got it, I forgot what it's called, some office supply store, but I'll link it below. And the entire tutorial will be on my website, the swatch specifically. And then this one is going to be a pattern separately because it's a little bit bigger, and you can also get it on my website. The links are below, and if you're on YouTube, and of course if you're on my website, you already see this. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to kind of swoop it over here. So we have room. You also need a 5mm hook, or whatever hook you need corresponding to your yarn that you're using. As you saw, I'm using worsted weighted yarn, so I'm using a 5mm hook. And you also need some scissors for this, although I'm not going to cut it right here, so I'm just going to continue on to do the piece. Okay, so let's talk about the repeat for a second here. So you're going to make a chain, a long chain of whatever number you need that is a multiple of 15 plus 10. So you make a long chain. I'm not going to make it right now because it's just a simple basic chain. Chain of multiple 15 plus 10. So in my case, that would be 25 chains. Then I did, starting from the second chain from the hook, I did 1/2 double crochet in each stitch, which makes it 24, and then did 2 additional rows of 1/2 double crochet. That's it. That's the plain, simple, basic 3 rows that you need. Okay, so now we're going to switch our yarn to the green, or what it's called, kiwi. Let me have this ready. So I like to switch it like this, so you have your very last stitch in the color that you just had for that row, and then I'm going to switch it here to the, I'm going to just call it green, like this. Okay, then I'm going to pull this a little bit, make sure it's tucked so you won't lose it. I'm going to let the white hang, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so kind of pull this a little bit, there we go. So chain 1 and you turn. You're going to place 5 single crochets, 1 in each stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to do our very first leaf. Okay, or yeah, you do one leaf and then you do the other leaf. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in just a hint. Make sure you really see what I'm doing. Okay, you should be able to see that. Alright, so chain 3. Okay, and now you're going to look at your stitches. Okay, so instead of having to count it, I do it a simple, easy way. So here's the stitch right below. I'm going to go in a zigzag down. So this, back over here, and back over here. Okay, so this is the stitch I'm going around. You see what it is? Zigzag. So this is the stitch I'm going around. So this is going to be a front loop or a front post single crochet. Okay, so just doing a single crochet around it, then you kind of turn it a little bit like this, and you do a single crochet all around that chain that you just created, a half double crochet, 3 double crochets, and another half double crochet, and another single crochet. So that's the first leaf. Kind of tuck it over to the, in my case, to the left. 1, 2, 3. And now we're gonna, let's kind of look it down here. So we're gonna skip the stitch right here and going to the next one over right here. And that's when we're going around and doing our front loop again as a single crochet. And now we're going to repeat the sequence we did on that other leaf. So single crochet, half double, 3 double, a half, and a single. So you're now done with your first 2 leaves. So you're not skipping any stitches behind here, okay? So we're now going to continue on our stitches, normal single crochets. I'm going to pull some more yarn. Alright, so we're doing 15 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, now we're repeating the process that we just did over here. Okay, chain 3. You're going down a zigzag, 1, 2, 3, so down here, single crochet, turn, single, double, and then 3, or I meant half double and then 3 double, and then half, and single. Okay, bend it to the side, 1, 2, 3 chains. You're skipping a stitch down here and going over to the next one. And now we'll repeat that sequence around that chain of 3. So a single, half double, 3 double, a half double, and a single. And now, finishing up the row, 2, 3, 4. Now you've finished the very first part. Yes, this looks like it's kind of bending over, but once you put your rows on it, it'll look flat. Okay, so we're finished that row now. We're now switching colors. Okay, I'm just going to pick the red. Have a slip knot. Finishing up that last stitch with the red. Okay, chain 1 and turn. Okay, so we're not going to work on the roses. So you're going to go until you see your leaf turning, right? So in my case, this would be here. 4 stitches. And now I'm going to do the rosebud. You're going to chain 14. Okay, now starting from the third, let me make my light a little brighter. Here we go. Now starting from the fourth, so you count 1, 2, 3, starting from the fourth chain, you're going to do 3 double crochets in each stitch. So that creates like kind of like a spiral thing, which we're going to then loop up to make a rose. So again, in each chain, 3 double crochets until you reach the end again. Okay, once you've finished all the way down until the last chain, or better, the first chain that you created, now you're starting to roll it up. I kind of go with how it already shows how it's rolling up. So in this case, I'm turning this way, I'm literally just rolling it up. So it makes a turn into a rosebud. I kind of hold it right in the center, like here. Alright, so like this. So then I'm gonna kind of make sure that my yarn is on my side. So you might have to just turn it around a little bit. Okay, so now you want to go through, we're going to make now 2 single crochets, okay, by pushing your hook all the way through, including every layer. So that might be a little tricky, but you're literally just pushing all the way through. And you're going to pick up your yarn right there, so that might be the tricky part, pushing it all the way back through. It might take a couple tries. Whoopsie. So let's try it again. There we go. Alright, so first single crochet. Every time I do my first single crochet, I kind of turn around and make sure when I pull here that nothing is loose. And then I go through one more time in a different location and do another single crochet. Now I'm going to turn it so to make sure that the rosebud is where the leaves are, and then I'm going to continue on doing my single crochets right where the next green one is. So you can kind of see it right here, right? So we had here our last one, then we did our leaves, and then here's the next one. Now we're just going to do a single crochet, 15 until we hit the next leaf. Okay, and now we're repeating the entire process. Starting from the fourth chain from the hook, 3 double crochets in each chain. Okay. Once you hit the end again, we're repeating the process of rolling up our rosebud. You're holding it down again and wrapping your yarn around so it's on the other side. Now it's the tricky part again, where you're kind of pushing it all the way through all the layers and pushing the yarn through, making a single crochet, and then in a different location again. Again, it can be tricky sometimes. Alright. Then you make sure that your rosebud is right where your leaves are. That means on the side of your leaves. And then you're going to crochet single crochets in each stitch until the end. You see, here's the last one we did before the rosebud, and here's the next one. So that would be 5 over here. Okay, so now I'm going to change yarn again. I'm going to go to the white. Just going to pick it up from down here. Okay, so now we're going to do our rows of white. So let me turn around so you can see how this looks like now. So currently the rosebud's kind of falling to this side. Once you put your white rose behind it, it'll bend forward. So you'll see that in a second. So I'm going to chain 1. You're going to do 1 row of single crochets, 1 single crochet in each stitch, so you kind of have to make sure you're picking it up the right ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 more here. 5. And then you bend this over, and then here's the next one. Oh, I'm sorry, kind of went out of focus here. Alright, so I did 5 over here, bend my rows to the side so you can see where I went, and then I have here 15 until I hit the next rows. Alright, and then I have 4 more over here. Alright, so now you can see already that the rose is already bending forward. And now we're going to do 3 more rows of half double crochet, just like we did on the bottom here. So I did a row of single crochet in replace of how I did it down here as the chain. So I always have 4 rows. So this would be a chain row, then 3 half double crochets. Here it's a single crochet row and then another 3 half double crochets. So that's what we're doing right now. So chain 1. The chain 1, by the way, does not count as a stitch, and now we're doing 3 rows of half double crochets. So I'll be right back once I finish my rows of half double crochets, and then we're going to go on and I'll make the next row of leaves that is kind of shifted, and then we'll do 1 rosebud, and then that sequence just repeats itself. So I'll be right back showing you the next part. Okay, so now that I finished my 1 single crochet row and 3 half double crochet rows, I'm going to now switch back to the green and do the leaves. This time we're shifting the rows about inwards. It's going to be always shifted between those roses. So I'm going to show it to you over here so you can see it. So here we started with 5 stitches, and then over here it is 12, and then in between here it's always 15 until you finish it up, right? So let's start and take care of the green row. So I have a chain 1, single crochet, 12 of them, sorry about that. Alright, I did 12 now, so I'm exactly in the middle right now. And we're doing our zigzag again, so we chain 3. And let me kind of lay it flat. I'm going to point it again. So I'm going to shift down here, shift over here, and then shift back here. So zigzag. That's how I do it. So it's technically all the way down right here. I'm just following the line of my stitches, so it's easier for me to remember. So it's going to be this stitch that we're going around. Let me pick up my loop. So I'm going to turn, and now we're going to do that sequence again of 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochets, and then another half double, and another single crochet. Alright, chain 3. Now repeating that on the other side. So we're skipping a stitch down here and going over to the next. Single crochet, and now we're doing a sequence: single crochet, half double, double, 3 of them, half double, and single. And now we're just going to go to the next stitch behind here, so we're not skipping a stitch. And now just crocheting until the end here, or if there would be if this is a bigger area, it would be 15 between the roses, always 15 between the roses. Of course you can do it a different way of having different stitches, but then remember in the beginning when you have the chain, the beginning chain, where we said 15 plus 10, that number 15 needs to be different then. So let's say you want the distance to be different over here, you want them to be smaller, then the multiple in the beginning of it will be smaller than as well. So let's say you want only 10 of them, then it's a multiple of 10 plus 10. So you decide what the distance is between the roses. Okay, so now we've finished the green row. Now we're going to switch. I'm going to take my bright violet over here, so I have a different color to show you. I'm going to go in here, tighten it up, chain 1 and turn. So we're now going to do a single crochet in each stitch until we come back to that leaf. Okay, so we've finished the single crochets, and now we're going to do our rows again. We're chaining 14, and starting from the 4th chain from the hook, 3 double crochets in each chain. Once you end all the way back to the end, we're now going to roll up our rows. You are going to make sure that you put your yarn on the other side. Now we have to go all the way through all the layers to make sure nothing unravels. again, that might be a little tricky. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. I always like to go through twice just to make sure I really hit every layer and nothing is falling apart. Alright, now once I finish that, I make sure that the rose is on the side where the leaves are, and then I'm going to continue my single crochets starting here. We kind of hold this for a second. So we saw this is the last single crochet in green, then over here is the next one, and that's what we're going into. Once you kind of used your single crochet, the rose will stop wiggling around. Kind of feels a little loose in the beginning, but then it'll be fine. Now you would add your white yarn again, and you're going to now repeat this middle section right here, and we'll just add it on top. That means you're going to have a row of single crochet and then 3 rows of half double crochet, and then you will repeat this row right here, the green one below here, where you have a starting single crochet of 5. Then you do your leaves as well as your single crochet, your leaves until the end, and then you go back with this. In my case, it's the red one. And then you do the white rows again, and then you repeat this green row and then this violet row, however you want to do it. Okay, so again, let me repeat one more time. If you want to change the distance between the roses, make sure that you understand that that is the multiple that we started out. Okay, so I did a multiple of 15 plus 10, so that means that multiple of 15 is the one that I have here as a distance. So if you want the distance to be 10, or let's say 14 or 20 even, then you have a multiple of 20 plus 10 or plus 11. I have 10 because I have one of the 10 is a turning chain, and then I have 5 on this side and 4 on this side, so that makes a 10 in the end. Again, if you want that number to change, you need to just add those 2 on the side here up, plus 1 turning chain, so you know exactly how to do that. So this is easily adjustable the way you want it to be. This can make a beautiful blanket, a throw, or even a pillow. In my case, my bigger version right here, let me zoom out a hint so you can see my bigger version, which is not finished yet. It'll be a lot bigger, and you're going to see the pictures on my website once it's finished. That will be a picture frame that I'm making for my mom, and it is going to be a Rosebud picture frame pattern. So you can grab that from my website by clicking below, or if you're on my website already, there should be a link right there in order to see how to do this part. Okay, I hope this video was helpful on how to do these rosebuds with 2 leaves underneath, and they're super cute and super adorable, and it really is not hard to do. And I hope you could like, comment, and share this video, and also be sure to subscribe. There is a subscribe button below. Please go ahead and hit that so that you will be notified for any future videos. All my patterns are free, and I have lots of tutorials coming up. Usually at least once a week I have a tutorial for you guys. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time. Bye.